Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. So, before we read, let's invoke the blessing of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhaeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ishvara Parma Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindah Sarva Karana Karanam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So we have been reading from a book Trinadapi Sunichena by Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj ki Jai. So chapter A, Society without envy. A society without envy, and then we are on page number 102. What is Shastriya Shraddha and what is Lokik Shraddha? Shastriya Shraddha means to have unflinching faith in Shastriya Siddhantas. The teachings which are given, especially as found in Srimad Bhagavatam, the essence of all Vedas, Vedanta, and Upanishad. Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi Shri Bhagavatam Ishyate Tadrasamrita Traptasya Nayatra Syadrati Kvachit. Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all the Vedas, Vedantas, and Upanishads. Therefore, one who has unflinching faith in the teachings given in Srimad Bhagavatam has Shastriya Shraddha. Srila Jiva Goswami has put emphasis on Shastriya Shraddha. One who is a neophyte devotee, a Kanishta Adhikari, has only Lokik Shraddha, not Shastriya Shraddha. Lokika Shraddha means he believes or puts faith in words of materialistic persons, materialistic scientist, and philosopher. He has not developed faith in the words of the sadhus, Vaishnavas, and Mahajanas, those who are acharyas. For example, people here may say, there is a ghost in that tree. When someone comes and hears from them, he will say, the people say there is a ghost in the tree because he has heard it from local people. If he comes here when electricity is out and there is a dense darkness, he may see something there. Oh, yes, it's a ghost. When electricity comes back on, he realized it was only a dead tree. He thought it was a ghost because it looked white. This is Lokik Shraddha. Our faith should not be based on Lokik Shraddha, but we have to develop Shastriya Shraddha. Unless one develops Shastriya Shraddha and deals with others, as Narad Muni has instructed, one will be affected by threshold miseries of this material world and will never be happy. So, dear devotees, here it is recommended to develop Shastriya Shraddha, not Lokik Shraddha. That's why many people, many times we say, I think, in my opinion, what you think. So what I think, you think does not matter. What matter is it mentioned in the Shastras, Shastriya Shraddha? What is mentioned in Shastras? So anybody's personal opinion or thought does not matter unless it is coming from an authorized book, isn't it? So if somebody say water, we say, okay, water, what is the chemical composition? They say H2O. Then we ask, how do you know? They say it is there in the science book. No, have you made it? No, I have not made it, but it is there in the science book. So if from a science we refer a science book, that is material science, and now this is spiritual science. So spiritual science has to be mentioned in a book. Just like we have material scientists, we have Vyasadeva, who's spiritual scientist. So six types of offenders. Skanda Puran states that there are six types of offenders who will fall down and go to hellish planet, Raurava Naraka. Nindam kurvanti ye mudaha वैष्णवा नाम महात्मनः पतन्ति पितृभिः श्रद्धां महारौरव समञ्जते हन्ति निन्दन्ति वै द्वेष्टि वैष्णवान् नाभिनन्दन्ति क्रुध्यते याति नो हर्षं दर्शने पतनानि सत् निन्दं कुर्वन्ति ये मूढ़ा वैष्णवा नाम महात्मना. Those who blaspheme a Mahatma Vaishnava are great offenders. Patanti pitrabhihi shraddham maharorava samanjate. They will definitely go to hell. Maharorava. Not only they will go to hell, but so will all of their ancestor Pitrabhi. The six types of offenders mentioned in this verse are those who try to kill a Vaishnava, those who blaspheme a Vaishnava, those who do not offer pranama, obeisances upon seeing a Vaishnava, those who become angry with the Vaishnava, those who develop enmity towards Vaishnava, and those who upon seeing a Vaishnava do not become jolly, but instead turn their faces. In this regard, Srila Prabhupada has said, instead of being envious of a more qualified man, one should be jolly to receive him. However, instead of becoming jolly, such an offender become envious. And these are the six type of offenders who fall down to Maharorava Naraka. So dear devotees, point to be noted here. This enviousness with any Vaishnava or blaspheming a Vaishnava, right, is a highest kind of offense. So we should not blaspheme. And often, we forget the qualities of Vaishnavas, and slight small thing we take it majorly and we started blaspheming. That time we forget all the good qualities contribution done by a Vaishnava, and we just pick up something with our limited brain and think that, oh, why did this person has done this, right? So we have to be very, very careful that we have to respect Vaishnavas. When he comes, we have to be very pleasant and pleasantly receive. So it is said that Krishna, if we do any mistake to the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna may forgive. But if we do a offense to the lotus feet of any Vaishnava, Krishna will never forget. Only that Vaishnava has to forgive. So we have to be very careful. Next section. A Premi Bhakta has bound Krishna up. Srila Prabhupada formed the Society of Krishna Consciousness. This is a society of Vaishnavas. Why did he form this Society of Krishna Consciousness? He formed it because those who join this society, the members of this society, should develop complete Krishna consciousness. The opportunity is given here for one to develop complete Krishna consciousness. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati तस्याहं न प्रणश्यामि सा च मे न प्रणश्यति. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor he ever lost to me. This is complete Krishna consciousness. Krishna states that one who sees me everywhere, sthavara jangama dekhe, na dekhe tar murti, sarvatra haya nija, ishta deva spruti. He sees all moving and non-moving entities, but he never sees their outward form. He sees only his Ishta, his most beloved deity, Krishna everywhere. Who is such a person? Bhakta ama prema, Bhakta ama premi, बंध्यची हृदया भीतरे, यहान नेत्रा पदे, तहान देखय amare. That premi bhakta, pure devotee, who has bound me up in his heart with the rope of love. Yahan netra pade tahan dekhaya amare. Wherever he looks, he sees me. No one else can see Krishna everywhere. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna states, Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samarvrataha mudo yam nabhijananti loko mam ajam avyayam. I am never manifest before everyone, and I never manifest everywhere. I am covered by my Yog Maya potency. Mudho yam nabi jananti. Those who cannot see me are mudas, rascals. They cannot understand me. In other words, Krishna keeps himself hidden. If Krishna keeps himself hidden, how can you see him? Plus, who can see him? Krishna explains that Bhakta ama premi bandhyeche hridaya bhitare. Yahan netra pade tahan dekhaye amare. Only a premi bhakta who has developed Krishna prem and has bound up Krishna in his heart with rope of love can see him. This bondage is very strong. Even Krishna, who is almighty, cannot break it. He says, "Na paraye, na paraye, na paraye." I cannot break such bondage. Krishna cannot keep himself hidden before the high eyes of a premi bhakta. His dear devotee sees him everywhere. So, dear devotees, another point to be noted. Often people says that, "Can you show me God? Have you seen God?" Right? And they put their collar up, saying that, "Show me God if you have seen." So here is the qualification. Do we have love in our heart for the Lord? Are we a Premi Bhakta? If we are a Premi Bhakta, if we have strong love for Krishna, then you can bound Krishna with rope of your love in your heart. And Krishna says that time I cannot hide myself. See, currently Krishna is hidden. Although Krishna is everywhere, right? Even now Krishna is listening what we are discussing. Krishna is listening. We may not have interest, but Krishna has great interest. So anybody listen or not, he is listening. So Krishna, although everywhere, but he becomes visible to a devotee who has a prema. And Krishna says, I cannot remain hidden. So what a blessing. And what we need is love. We need love. Such a big personality. Imagine, who's holding all the planets, right? Multi-universe. He's the owner of that, right? And he's saying the only thing I can be visible is love only. Imagine, just love, pure love. Because Krishna wants to be loved and Krishna wants to love. So we'll stop here. Tomorrow we'll read Exemplary Society. Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj ki jai. Now we'll read from Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And His Holiness Satswarup Das Goswami Maharaj ki jai, who has collected all the gems of Prabhupada Leela and documented. So we are at 253 page number. Beginning the temple of Krishna Balaram. Carefully he reviewed a recent report of spending and accounts in Mayapur, concerned that all money be handled very carefully and spent exactly for the purpose it was intended. He had written to Jayapataka Swami, money for the land must be spent for land purchase. If I send money for constructing of a kitchen, it must be spent for that. Also, if you purchase land, it must be properly utilized. And if you actually produce some grains and vegetables, then where is the necessity for further money for maintenance? For maintenance, we require 100 rupees per head without any risk for purchasing lands and cultivating the same. I understand there are only 20 men there at present. So at most 2000 rupees is necessary for maintenance. I am not competent to understand everything concerning what you plan to do, but that is my rough estimate. You have tried to explain by long letter, which I have not gone through yet. In the meantime, go on above. Principal money spent must be used for that purpose intended. That will keep it very clear. From a previous letter from Srila Prabhupada, Bhavananda and Jayapataka had become a little despondent, thinking that they may have displeased their spiritual master. But Prabhupada reassured them, I know you are working hard and sincerely. I have no business to criticize, but as a head of the institution or your spiritual master, it is my duty to find out your faults. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented himself as faulty before his spiritual master. To remain faulty before spiritual master is a good qualification. So he is subjected to rectification. But if one thinks he is all perfect, then there is no scope for rectification. Don't be sorry when I find fault. That is my primary duty. Chanakya Pandit says one must find fault with disciples and son. It is good for them. So again, point to be noted, dear devotees, when our spiritual master comes, we only expect that he praises us. And slight fault spiritual master finds, we immediately started giving excuse. Isn't it? So here it is recommended that we should not justify, but we should rectify. So any suggestion for improvement we should welcome, especially when spiritual master is giving. Rather, when spiritual master comes, look for the opportunity where spiritual master tells you that, oh, this thing, if you can improve, you can become a better devotee. And note down that. Or remember the last meeting of your spiritual master. What are the things our spiritual master has told us that these things you should improve, right? Or whatever meetings we had so far, list down all those improvement items and work towards it. And similarly, our children, of course, it's like a bad cop, but unless you find fault or tell them, they will never improve. Next, Prabhupada also scrutinized the finances in Vrindavan, where Guru Das was present, where Guru Das was president and Tejas in Delhi was financial supervisor. Reviewing Tejas' latest request, Prabhupada wrote back, I am enclosing the list of checks requested by you by registered post, except I am not sending one check for rupees 3000 for DT clothes to be paid to the tailor Lalit Prasad of Vrindavan. DT paraphernalia is supposed to be collected separately by Gurudas and Yamuna, not come out of the construction fund as you have requested. Besides, I have advised Gurudas not to pay any tailor but to make clothes by our own devotees for the deities. Prabhupada also found a serious inconsistency in the accounting, which he pointed out to Tejas for correction. According to my checkbook, after writing the last check, according to my checkbook, after writing the last check for 1,76,000, there is a balance of only 18,741.81 cents. But you are indicating that a balance of 1 lakh and 313 rupees and 64 cents. Where is the difference? Send me a complete statement of account. Gurudas and Tejas had assured Prabhupada that the Krishna Balaram Mandir would be ready to open by July 1974. Prabhupada designated the invitation cards himself. Prabhupada designed the invitation card himself and asked that they be printed and sent to important persons. The founder Acharya, quote, the founder Acharya and members of International Society for Krishna Consciousness requests the pleasure of Mr. and Mrs. Company to visit installation ceremony of Krishna Balaram temple from August 8 to 10 and accept prasadam. And in the bottom, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, founder Acharya, Gurudas Adhikari, local president, Surabhi Das Adhikari, secretary. With only 3 months left, Prabhupada's plan were to travel from May through July, giving permission for transferring funds from Delhi to Vrindavan. He left. He would return in 3 months for grand opening. So now this chapter finishes. The next chapter, chapter 8, Let There Be a Temple. Srila Prabhupada's first two stops in Europe were Rome and Geneva. In both places, devotees had arranged many outside speaking engagements as well as meetings with important guests in Prabhupada's room. The Rome temple was a small house at a busy intersection near Piazza Lodi. Traffic was relentless, its noise penetrating into Prabhupada's quarters within the temple building. I hope the noise of the traffic does not bother you too much. Dhananjay, the temple president, apologized. No, Prabhupada replied. This sound is very pleasing. It means this is very important part of Rome. This is very good location. At the Villa Borghese, in a hotel hall built to sit 500 people, Prabhupada spoke before a crowd of more than 1,000. Wow, more than 1,000 people turned up. Prabhupada was pleased by enthusiastic gathering of Italians who behaved as if coming to receive the blessing of the Pope. They were pious, but they had not been taught properly how to engage in the Lord's service. This, he said, was the one defect. Although devotees had arranged a meeting between Prabhupada and the Pope was ill, so Prabhupada met with Cardinal Bigne Doli, who was in charge of non-Christian liaisons. In flying to Geneva, Prabhupada and his secretary viewed the snow-covered Alps. This is very dangerous spot. Prabhupada remarked as the plane flew above the alpine peaks, many planes have crashed here. In Geneva, Mayor offered Prabhupada an official reception. Everything went smoothly, according to diplomatic protocol. Afterward, Mayer asked frankly, if everyone become like you are saying, wouldn't the economy be threatened? Prabhupada said no, and he quoted the same verse he had given to press reporters in Hyderabad. Annad bhavati bhutani. Grains are produced by rains, which are produced by sacrifices to Vishnu. Prabhupada proposed that if men cultivated their own land and kept cows, they would have no economic problem. Krishna conscious devotees could work in all ways of life within society. In fact, they could teach how to organize society according to God conscious principles. While returning to temple, Prabhupada asked, were my answers all right? One of the devotees replied that he thought the mayor considered the devotees beggar. Therefore, Prabhupada said, I told him about tilting the land. We are not beggars. We are giving the highest knowledge. I gave him a copy of Bhagavad Gita, the highest knowledge. He could not give us anything. So who's the beggar? Prabhupada accepted the invitation in Geneva to speak at World Health Organization of the United Nations. He also met at temple with Indologist Jean Herbert and with several scientists and professors. One of the Prabhupada's leading disciples, Karandhara, came to visit him in Geneva. Karandhara had left the movement 4 months before, being unable to follow strictly four regulatory principles. Up to that time, he had been leading manager of ISKCON United States, and Prabhupada had depended heavily on him to deal with his Dai Nippon printers, to coordinate book distribution, and to collect funds from all temples in the US. Since leaving, Karandhara had felt great remorse and had had a change of heart and had telegrammed Prabhupada that he wanted to come and surrender at his lotus feet once again. Srila Prabhupada had welcomed him back, and Karandhara had flown immediately to Geneva. After speaking for a few hours with Karandhara, Prabhupada decided he would be just the man to take up the heavy responsibilities of GBC of India. He should make his headquarters in Bombay and help the devotees there get the no objection certificate. It was a bold move for Prabhupada, based on trust in his disciple and on immediate need for Krishna conscious leadership in India. He had his secretary immediately type a letter to the leaders of temples in Hyderabad, Bombay, Calcutta, Mayapur, Delhi, and Vrindavan, authorizing Karandhara's appointment as new GBC Commissioner for India. It is a great relief for me, wrote Prabhupada. Please give him all cooperation and work together for advancement of our mission to make people of India Krishna conscious. In the interest of time, next section is starting Paris, June 8th. We will stop here. If anybody has any question, correction, chastisement, any realization to share, give wait for 30 seconds. If nothing, we'll wrap up. Thank you, dear devotees, for listening to me, and forgive me if I have not read properly. Okay, if there's no question, we'll wrap up and continue chanting. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय।